file this under instant regret or epic fail, or is this 2015 again? I thought we were done with all this nonsense where restaurants would virtue signal and they would say, oh, men pay 20% more, or women pay 20% less, or we're a feminist bar. I mean, literally all of those places have gone out of business. What if I told you that in 2026, we have a white tax at a very popular restaurant of 20%? It is to fight the ugly past in America. You know, this is a restaurant that charges $16 for a slice of carrot cake. They charge $13 for a piece of cornbread. Chocolate chip cookies, $10. And they are making people pay 20% more than already insane privileged prices to fight more racism. We're going to get into the epic backfire in just a moment after a word from this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Shout out to this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, if you aren't using a VPN yet, you're completely missing out, and Private Internet Access is the one I use on all of my devices. If you've been following the news, you see that censorship, websites, apps are getting shut down in certain countries, all sorts of craziness. Well, a VPN helps you never have to worry about that. Private Internet Access also protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, internet service providers, and others that can view your personal data. Perhaps also just as importantly, Private Internet Access allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows simply cannot be accessed if you're not in the target location. Happens to me all the time. Many sports events also have regional blackouts. Well, VPNs can be a convenient way to make sure you're getting the content that you're paying for. Private Internet Access also allows you to protect an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time, so your entire household with a single subscription. And I've been working with Private Internet Access so long that I have an absolutely massive discount available to my viewers. Link in the description below. Get Private Internet Access today using my link. Save huge, protect your computers, access all the content that you've been paying for. Quote, America's best restaurant winner, Stokes. Oh, it's one America's best restaurant. Stokes outraged with automatic 20% charge because of country's racist past. America's top-rated restaurant in California was flooded with one-star reviews over its woke message at the bottom of all of its receipts, demanding an automatic 20% tip to combat what is called the country's racist, ugly past of tipping. What? Literally what? First of all, don't get me started on tipping culture in America and how it's out of control. I mean, second of all, if you're going to demand a tip, 20% is actually insane. If you're getting a 20% tip from me, that means you have superior service. All right, maybe sometimes I over tip at restaurants that I really, really like, or if it's somebody who I think could really use it. But a 20% tip is strong, especially when the average ticket size is $195. So on this receipt where somebody bought, this is what they got. By the way, they charged $9 for peanuts. So they got some boiled peanuts, 4 beers, 2 chickens at $45 each. They charged $45 a chicken, some cornbread, carrot cake, $193 tab, automatic $20 tip. Why? Because it says tipping in the U.S. has an ugly past, allowing the continuation of underpaid labor. We don't like that history. Included in your check is a 20% service charge for which... What? So we don't like tipping, so we're going to make you tip? Only like a woke idiot would think this logic makes sense. Let me read that again to make sure I understand it. Tipping in the U.S. has an ugly past, allowing the continuation of underpaid labor. We don't like that history. Including your check is a 20% service charge, which we use to pay our hourly staff a consistent and livable wage. But you're underpaying them. You're still doing it. Am I taking crazy pills? You're literally still doing it. Instead of putting it in your prices, okay, in the $9 for boiled peanuts, okay, $16 for a carrot cake, all right? Instead of charging the customer, you're still passing the cost on the customer. This is crazy. Not dependent on archaic tipping customs or chance. No need to add anything else. Thank you. Well, you know people are going to pay this tab. It's just like why I hate gratuity. I would say, what do you think? 10, 20% of people don't even notice a gratuities on their bill and they tip on top of it because they didn't notice it. I hate gratuities. Also, gratuity is a joke because it assumes that I got 20% worthy service, and sometimes you don't. The message is an apparent reference to post-Civil War time frame when newly emancipated black workers were denied wages in the service industry. Okay, 500 years ago? The restaurant, which was named the best U.S. restaurant by Food and Wine magazine in 2025, was hit with a slew of terrible Yelp reviews and nasty emails. Some accusing it of having horrible food and others saying it failed to disclose the automatic service charge. Exactly. There you go. So people don't even know. Like people don't even know what the heck's going on. They don't even notice. They don't notice that this service charge is in there. So they tip on top of it. And what do they do with that? Do they give the money back? Do they say, oh, I'm sorry, sir. We already have that baked in. You don't have to worry about tipping here. I don't think they do. I think that they keep that too. But of course, the owner, Jeff Davis, shrugged off the hate. Most of the people who left reviews are from outside of our region and community, he said. They're using a crusade against Oakland, DEI, and the moment that we're in. People are upset about a lot of things in America right now. Well, that's fine. You know what? He can do that. He's 100% rightful to do that. Dave addressed the backlash, of course, on Instagram and said that they disclosed the service fee in advance. He added that many Bay Area restaurants have their own service fees, some higher than his, which made it feel more like a personal attack. Oh, so there we go. Oh, it's because I'm black. That's what he's saying here. They're only mad because I'm black. That's I mean, I don't even really understand. You know, like either it's a race thing or it isn't. He knows the term DEI, so he's obviously involved in some level of racial justice and all that kind of stuff. This isn't the first time the restaurant, which was named America's Best Food last year, has been blasted. After receiving several accolades, critics said the recognition was only due to affirmative action or because they're black owned. Well, it was. I'm sure it was. No restaurant on earth should be charging $9 for boiled peanuts that you can get for $2. It is what it is. And as Americans, we have to understand that racism is part of our core identity as a country. All we can do is do the best we can. Yelp has now started scrubbing the reviews. Well, let's take a look at the reviews before Yelp removes them all. 1 star. The forced tipping while writing tipping culture is an ugly past BS is insane. Note this restaurant is not passing the forced tip entirely to its servers. They are, quote, paying a living wage to servers and harvesting the rest of the tip money for themselves. True. This place is gross, and I'm all about taking tipping away. Do it by charging more for your food if you need to. Show people your pricing, pay your people better, and let people make their own decisions about coming to your restaurant. Be straightforward and honest and cut this spun marketing bull crap. This is a pathetic twist on trying to market an anti-tipping culture that is anything but total trash. 1 star. The service is abysmal and the food is close to that. They charge for peanuts $9. That's a 2-pound bag of peanuts for the crows. Well, boiled peanuts, I don't know about that. $45 for flavorless, mislabeled Cornish hens. Yeah, no thanks. The real kicker came when the bill were the gratuities added with no heads up whatsoever. Here's somebody from California. Wait, I thought they weren't from the area. Here we go. Beverly Hills, California. Here's some Californians. Highly priced mediocre food with an automatic 20% charge after tax. The food was nothing special, served lukewarm. The service didn't warrant 20%, and the condescending note stating that they charge this fee because tipping culture is ugly and they have to pay a living wage. Your very high prices should provide for your servers. Ridiculous. And I can't believe this is even legal. I'm reading some of these reviews, and I see some of the few reviews that the owner actually replied to was a reviewer who said they didn't know about the service added fee and gave an additional tip, to which the owner responded that they don't have tipping line on the bill, so they're not sure they could have done that. I'll tell you how. They tipped cash, as many of us do. Calling your patron a liar isn't a way to elicit patrons. Why not add the 20% included into your already exorbitant prices and let people decide if they want to eat there? A tip is exactly that. It's something extra it's to ensure proper service. That's tips. To inspire proper service. Ensure is an E, isn't it? I don't know. But it's to make sure you have better service. Save yourself the negative feelings and skip this place. Beverly Hills, food is expensive and average. 20% service fee is a joke. Alameda, California. These guys charge junk fees. Watch out, your bill will be higher than you expect. Anaheim, California. Beware the 20% service charge to the bill. Again, okay. So I thought the only people leaving bad reviews, they weren't from the area. And of course, they blocked everybody else leaving reviews. I mean, you got to love it. You got to love when this stuff backfires. I absolutely do. Look, this isn't 2013, 2014 anymore. You don't get to do this crap without getting backlash online. Not that I would probably ever eat at Burdell in California, but I certainly wouldn't be eating at places that charge me 20% on top of $9 for peanuts. What a joke. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.